My name is Jack Dawkins. I'm a rapper-songwriter based out of Boulder, Colorado, and today we're in Golden shooting a music video for my new song, You Can Always Come Home. I kind of like the idea of the challenge of how do you take hip-hop, how do you take lyricism and apply it to something like a holiday without, hopefully, being cheesy or overdone or kind of ridiculous, I say as I'm wearing a Santa hat. Honestly, because when I went to YouTube to see how many there were, the answer was not a lot. As you will learn when you hear the song, I'm a parent. My daughter Saxon will be 4 in January. And being a parent has been, let's call it an adventure. Learned a whole lot. It's been incredibly rewarding and also challenging. But a question that I get all the time is like, what do you want for her? You know, what do you want for your kids? And I think there's a billion answers I could give, but I really wanted to kind of distill it down to one idea. And that idea for me is that she always, 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 no matter where she is, no matter how old she is, no matter what happens, feels like she can come home and that her mom and I will always, always be there for her. And in many ways, I feel like Christmas is the time of year when people actually act on that. You do go home and you go back to, you know, where you grew up or to see your folks. And so I felt like if she always had that feeling with her, that she always had a safe place to go home to, that she would live a pretty good life. So that's what I thought about. So I usually hate tradition. I'm not big on it. I kind of like bending rules and trying new things and being really experimental. Christmas is like the only time of year when I'm adamant that like we have to do certain things. And a lot of that ended up in the song. So like the reference to Gonzo, I've watched a Muppet Christmas Carol every year forever. Like you cannot not do that. Cinnamon rolls is another big one. What we do on Christmas Eve, what we do on Christmas morning. And so in some ways, like, it's my time to indulge in getting to be a part of those traditions because for so much of the rest of the year, I don't. I think the biggest thing is that I ended up in hip hop. I ended up writing songs the way that I do by learning a bunch of other skills first. So before I was rapping at all, I was doing storytelling. And I actually had a show that was going on in Chicago before the pandemic made live theater not real for a short period of time, as I'm sure many of you know. But all of that was about learning narrative, about learning character development, about understanding how to build an arc. I also did some stand-up online, which is weird as shit. I don't recommend it, but you can do it. But it forces you to really think about, for a punchline, where's the energy going and how am I changing its direction, or how am I surprising people? You know, you learn to be really, really thoughtful with how you use words. And then when I started doing songwriting, you learn to be hyper efficient at doing those things. You know, a 3-minute song probably has 400 words, 500 words, not many. And so if I want to be able to take you through this emotional place, if I want to connect to you here, I have to be really thoughtful and really specific with what words I use. And to me, like, that's a fun game. I love playing with how can I be so impactful and so efficient with using language, and I love it. And that's not to say that other people don't do that. I don't know a lot of people who are like, I was doing storytelling shows and online stand-up, so I decided to be a rapper. So right now I'm recording my next 2 songs, which will hopefully come out right after New Year's and in early February. One is called Spasmatic Asthmatic. I was born with asthma. I've had it since I was very, very small. And Spasmatic Asthmatic has kind of become my alter ego in some ways. Jack Dawkins thus far has been super emotional, all about storytelling. And Spasmatic Asthmatic is, I'm just trying to spit bars. I'm just trying to have fun, and it's just punchline after punchline after punchline. So I'm really, really excited to just get into that different energy and find a visual that looks very different than everything we did today. And then after that, I have 3 or 4 producers that I've been in conversation with, and I'm hoping that we can put together a little EP that will hopefully come out in like early Q2 next year, so maybe April. But long story short, lots of time in the studio, lots of creating. I just want to be prolific. I want to always have something new coming out for people to see or hear or watch or get excited about. Thank you for tuning in and for watching, for supporting the music so far. There's something really cool about this moment. I think I just crossed 2,000 streams on Spotify. And I know for so many people that number is what they get in like 20 minutes the day a song drops. But for me, the idea that songs that I've written and recorded have been heard 2,000 times is unbelievably humbling. So thank you to everyone for the support, and I can't wait to show you more.